Now, you encountered the attackers before they finally got to Bryan, right?
Right, that's correct.
Explain what they did the first time.
So the first encounter we had, Bryan and I were walking side by side, and one of my other friends was pretty much right behind us, and the fourth guy had lagged behind a little bit. He was quite a ways behind us. And Bryan and I were talking to each other. We weren't even talking about baseball. We weren't talking about the Giants or the Dodgers. And we walk up past this car, and as we get right to the back end of the car, this guy comes out and yells profanity. He says, "What the F did you say?" And just pushed Bryan, just out of nowhere. Blindsided them.
He jumped out of the car?
No, he jumped from behind the car. He was standing behind the car, and he came from behind the car, and he pushed Bryan right into me. And I grabbed Bryan, and, in the split second I had to realize what was going on. I grabbed him, and I kind of rolled away, and we just kept walking as fast as we could.
And he said, "What the F did you say?"
With not withholding,
Yeah,
right, I know.
And it was just
this is radio. I have to withhold.
And it was just
absolutely.
It was you and Bryan talking to each other. You weren't addressing him in any way, not talking about the game in any way.
Didn't even see the guy until he came out and until he yelled at and then pushed Bryan. That was the first time that I had seen him.
And this is one of the later attackers.
Yes, this is I would say the main guy, the one who did the most damage.
Then what happened?
So I rolled away, and we started walking even faster than we were before. And I guess at this time I didn't see it, but my buddy Matt that was with us, he caught up to us, and he was livid. He was irate, and I said, "Hey, what happened?" And he goes, "The guy just punched me in the face. He was trying to punch Bryan, and he punched me." And Matt was like, "It's not a big deal. Let's just get out of here fast." And so we all kept walking. We didn't hang around to say, "Hey, what's that all about?" or to square off. We kept walking.
So after he pushed Bryan, this guy then went and punched Matt in the face?
Yeah, that's correct.
And Matt was how far behind you?
Matt was almost right on top of us. He was right behind us, directly behind us.
All right, so he pushes Bryan, and I guess takes a swing that was meant for Bryan, and he hits Matt in the face.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I see.
And you guys are not particularly small. I mean, you guys are, I don't know about you, but I know Bryan has been described as pretty full guy.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't describe any of us there as small guys. But it was the obvious, it's just the atmosphere. It was just so obvious that this is not the place where, no matter what's happening, this is not the place where you want to square off and try to handle business like that.
So what happened? What happened next?
So we keep walking, and about 5 minutes later, literally, it was about 5 minutes later, and about 500 or 600 yards deeper into the parking lot, almost out of the parking lot. Well, almost to the end of the parking lot where we were at, I should say. And we had kind of spread out at that point. I mean, we had been looking over our shoulder and just making sure that there was nothing else coming at us. And we, after 5 minutes, figured, okay, it's dead and done, it's over with, and let's just get out of here. And about 5 minutes later, I don't remember exactly what it was that made me turn around, but I heard footsteps or somebody screaming, and I turned around and I saw my other buddy get punched right in the face and landed on his back. And I saw, then I saw the guy run up, almost a sprint from behind Bryan and just throw a haymaker and connect. And just went from there. I mean, Bryan was unconscious before he even hit the ground. And, this guy just kept going after him. And,
is it true, though, that they were kicking Bryan when he was down?
That's absolutely true. I don't want to get into too many, gory details, but Bryan was unconscious before he hit the ground. He then hit the ground, and I did my best to run towards Bryan, and the other attacker got in my way and was trying to throw punches at me. But all he ended up doing was keeping me from getting to Bryan. And while I'm trying to get to Bryan, the same guy that punched him from behind took three big kicks at Bryan's head and connected 3 times.
Oh. And then they went off in a car or something?
I didn't see that part. By the time I got there, I kind of jumped on top of Bryan to cover him up. And these guys were still trying to get to him.
They still were.
Yeah, and this was the point where there were some other fans in the crowd that were, I mean, there was a big crowd around us at this point. And that's the point when I jumped on top of them that, some of the fans grabbed these two guys and got them off. And then I don't know, I saw them run away. That's all I saw. I don't know anything about the car.
But nobody could get a hold of those two guys in any
I don't think
way.
anybody wanted to. I think everybody was either they were scared or they just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't make an assumption. But.
They could have not really realized how seriously Bryan was hurt. Just thought it was a quick scuffle.
Right.
Wow. All right, Corey.
That's how it went down. It was just brutal. It was a brutal, cold attack.
Well, we're glad that a lot of money is being raised for Bryan and his family, and we appreciate your talking to us. I'm sure you've had a lot of interviews with the police, and the tough part is they still haven't found these two guys.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that, but I really think that in the long run, these guys are going to get caught, and justice will be served.
Yeah, there were no cops or security near you when the final attack happened, huh?
No, nowhere near.
Well, that was probably a massive mob.
All right, Corey. Thanks for coming on.